Yeah, I'm ready. Wait, what did MJ say we're calling this again? Oh, right. No, I got it. I know we're live. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Live. In person, live Raw. Welcome back to News of My Fiance, Raw Live, in person, live Raw with Morgan Jones and myself, DJ Ambush. We are reporting live from the 5 Alarm Fire that is downtown Portland. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate your support. Be a part of the text chat fam squad and join the conversation in the chat. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. We are on Instagram. And hopefully,
we are not monitoring every single one of those chats.
We're not.
If you...
We're trying the best we can.
Very badly want us to see for sure what you said, be in the YouTube. I think that's a fair thing to say,
I think someone's already in the YouTube.
I saw that.
Okay.
Hi, Lily. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's quite all right. You're right.
So, speaking of Lily, shout out to our studio sponsors, L&J Industries, for providing such a dope place for us every single week. Shout out to our production team, Kyle of Residual Audio, Jess and Ross, and our remote quality controller, Michelle, for making sure this show happens every single Monday. And of course, shout out to y'all for listening, watching, and staying engaged with us.
Yeah. Now, before we get started, fiancés, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, ring that bell so the algorithm, one, notices us, but, so you can share it with other people as we pop up every single week. Become a member over at patreon.com/newsofmyfiance to support the ever-expanding show. We just want to be able to spend more time with you and still pay our bills. I don't think that's too much to ask.
It's really not.
All right, let's get this quality time started, man.
Let's
get it popping.
Well, let me announce what we'll talk about later on in the show.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're going to talk about FBI Director Kash Patel, LOLLMAO, what are we doing, and his plans for major staff relocations because, boy, you got to get everything out of D.C., you know?
Yeah.
That is the swamp.
Yeah.
If I'm going to spend my time calling it the swamp, make sure I don't work in the swamp.
I wonder if the idea is to move everything to Texas, where they have judges they like.
I don't think it's going to matter.
Okay.
We're also going to talk about MSNBC shaking it up and tossing out the BIPOCs. I don't use that word.
Use that word.
I'm trying to use the words that they'll recognize. But yeah, the Primetime Overhaul happening over there at MSNBC. Who knows if tonight is Joy Reid's last show?
I think it is tonight. I
believe that's the speculation, but the announcement was it'll happen sometime this week, which does mean tonight. It's Monday.
Yeah.
Why not? And we're also going to talk about the next update in the Providence nurses strike. And it's not just nurses, doctors, workers. And then we're going to talk about a Portland student who's pushing a bill to support foster youth employment.
Yeah.
Woo.
Boss.
Lots.
Love it.
So that's the deal. That's what we'll talk about at some point in this show. Good luck to when it happens. No clue about that part.
Yeah. But, per usual, let's talk about the weekend, man. Well, just the time in between, Thursday, our last show on X-Ray FM. Not our most recent show. Let me be clear. On X-Ray FM.
We didn't get canceled.
That's how we're good.
Joy Reid.
We're good. We didn't get any emails from Chase saying, we can get rid of the BIPOC. But anyways,
imagine. Sorry, guys, having a major shakeup in our programming.
Oh my God. We gotta, change up our morning news routine. There's no more space for you guys.
Whoops.
That would suck.
That would be bad.
Yeah. But shout out to YaHeard. They had another show at the IFCC as part of their residency there. It was amazing. Daryl performed. Why is Daryl's... Is it Grant I believe that's his last name. Amazing pianist. I feel terrible for questioning whether his last name is Grant, but I believe it is Dale Grant. Who was also an artist in residency, along with Mike Crenshaw, and I can't remember who else is there. But yes, Derek was Daryl
Grant.
Daryl was the guest performer for this particular event. And for anyone who doesn't know, YaHeard is a Black and Brown led open mic for the youth. And they have a monthly event. Like I said before, they're currently in residency at the IFCC. And, so they have use of the stage in there. And there is a room upstairs where they're doing like photography and rehearsals. It's just amazing to watch, I won't say these kids like they're my kids, but it's amazing watching these kids just get things cracking. And the talent is it's inspiring. It really, really is. Watching them get up there each month and just you seeing them, work on songs. And I love how, having been part of like the open mic scene when it was booming in Philly, part of the whole neo soul thing, there's always this pressure of, listen now, it's an open mic, but when you hit the stage, you better be ready. Don't be up there.
You better have your poems.
Listen, have them poems, have your capri pants, be good. Be ready to go.
Head wrap,
poem, capri pants. Let's go.
However, I'm with this.
These kids will show up and be like, hey, I just wrote this song last night. I don't have all the lyrics memorized. Do y'all mind if I grab my phone? And everybody's like, woo, grab your phone.
Get your phone.
And I'm like,
take your time.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's
Excuse me. That's what's up. That's fire. Okay. All right.
I love that.
It's great. And shout out to Friends of Noise because they do the sound for those events too. So it's like, all right, major. So that was great. And I'm trying to think. So that was Friday. Did we have Saturday off?
I don't know.
Oh, well, Saturday I spun at TVR. That's what it was. And then Sunday. No requests. Me and Cliff over at White Eagle for the De La Soul, for the De La Soul tribute.
It's like, please say the name right.
I know, right? It's my own thing.
The name.
Come on. And it's our third year doing it. Shout out to everybody that came through and rocked with us. Like it was great.
Fun.
It was so dope. Nice little family reunion.
Yeah. I definitely thought I was going to get to see Brooke because
Brooke
is normally there.
Yeah.
And I'm the one who's like, I hope I get to make it tonight,
Yeah.
And I just knew I was going to walk in there and see her.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't. And then I was like, I just know she's going to walk in here while I'm here. And then she did. So, missed you.
Yes.
Missed you and the squad. But it was fun. Last night was super fun.
Yeah, we had a ball. We had some really good feedback from some of the homies that came out. Just expressing, how much the show means to them. And, being able to find some laughs through, all of the news and different topics that we're covering, how important it is.
Ha! You're not getting none of those today. No laughs.
And one of the homies, shout out to James, was like, you guys need a call-in number. Because, I'm not typing fast enough to be in the chat.
James wants me to be arguing with libertarians or something. A call-in number is such a dangerous... What a slippery slope.
So we actually do have one. Yeah. So we do have a call-in number. We're working on getting that all in the mix. So give us a couple of weeks. Give us a couple of weeks and we'll figure that out. We're going to need more staff though. We need people screening calls. I don't know. That's going to be a sitch.
It'll be funny to see.
We're in Portland. We're definitely going to need people screening calls.
Okay.
Because, people like to play those games a lot here. A lot. They just call in and be like,
man.
Nigga.
I just remembered some of the wild text messages we have gotten on X-Ray while we're on the air. So, you're likely right.
Yo, some of them text messages are crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And we're screening those. That's fun. Super fun to read Those things.
Yeah, no delay. You're just on the air reading
Just
the most interesting of text messages.
in the middle of a story, and it's like, show me your dick.
Right.
What?
Shout out to the homies on the East Coast. E, what up, Ernest? And Scheme, what up, sir?
Oh my goodness. Hi, Scheme. Wow. That's exciting.
Yeah. Who else we got in the chat over there on YouTube?
On YouTube, shout out to Lily. Shout out to P-Town.
Yeah.
This is I'm gonna get yelled at because for the love of art, is that Alice? Is that Alice?
I think that's Alice.
I don't want to say it's Alice if it's not.
I think it's Alice.
Okay.
Alice, is that you? Let us know.
Boo?
Let us know. If you're not Alice, let us know who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a name you want us to say out loud.
For real.
Doesn't have to be your own if you don't want it to be. You know? Just a reminder we said this up top, but the liking, the subscribing, the becoming a member, all of that is incredibly important for the algorithm to notice that we are doing something every Monday. So please do. If you are here in the chat, just hit that like. You don't have to do too much, but we're going to be talking about what independent media, what the landscape looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think you'll start to understand a little bit that those things, they do actually matter. Yes, it is Alice. Hey, boo. How you doing?
Uh-oh. Look who is on Instagram.
Stephanie, my dearest, my darling. Hi.
And shout out to Habibi Lennon on Twitch. All right.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so you can see the Twitch. Well, I don't know.
It's a lot of work.
There's too many things to be looking at. No Request was super fun. I'm not going to go into what my weekend was. It was just very hard.
Yeah.
And today has been also very hard. And I just feel very cynical. I don't feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel for any of these things.
Makes sense.
And I'm sure that will change, and I'm sure that I will be have a different disposition or whatever. My dad likes to tell me I need an attitude adjustment. He is not wrong right now. If he were to say that to me, I do. Saying all that to say or help set your expectations. I am. Who knows? I don't know. I'm trying to allow the calm down and just try and breathe it out and all of those things.
Yeah.
But I ain't seeing a whole lot of good in the moment.
Man. Greg said, good luck tomorrow.
Greg?
Yes.
What's tomorrow?
I'm not sure.
Oh, the mass call. What a segue.
Bam.
Shout out to Greg. What's up, Greg? Yes. So tomorrow, Tuesday, February 25th, Imagine Black and Equitable Giving Circle is having a mass call to organize. I will be a part of that call. We'll be talking about, oh, that's really funny. This is not a great segue. I was just saying, yes, everything's awful and it stays that way. No, things are not great. Things are getting worse. But there are actually things we can do that we have to do. And we do need to, what's the word? Stay not positive, but active, none of this work is going to be super easy or light on the emotions.
Right.
It's hard. It's ugly. It's like today's ridiculous stormy day. But there are so many things that we can do. There are so many ways that we can come together and following the lead of organizations that are already doing this work, have been doing this work, are steeped in it, is the way that we need to go. Looking to, folks trying to start something today doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Not at all. Not at all. What you should be, if you're looking, if you feel so inspired that you want to put all that energy towards creating something, then definitely align yourself with the entity that is already doing the work and just add all that energy to it.
Because here's the thing. A lot of folks will say nobody's doing X. And we are caught, we all get caught up in making general statements like that. Like, well, nobody's doing this, or I don't hear anyone talking about this. When in reality, there's likely many organizations that have existed for many years that have been doing the same work that you think isn't being done. And you have not taken the time to figure out if they exist or not, you know? And that's not, no shade, just like that's the truth. Like, none of the things that are happening within systems of oppression are new, right? They may be new maneuvers, but they're all from the same playbook. They're all for the same reason.
Right.
So as much as it all can seem so brand new and this is so, I've never heard of anything like this, it's just you haven't lived through it in your lifetime, or you didn't live through it at a time where it hit you the way that it's hitting you now. But none of this stuff is new. Like, for as much as we talk about how detrimental Project 2025 is, that is the Republican Party. That has been their agenda the entire time. There's not a new thing that's like they can't get behind. You know what I mean?
Right.
That they're just like, oh, that's a bridge too far. It's literally what they want. And it may not be the way that they would have presented it. And this is certainly Operation Warp Speed, but none of this is new. So I didn't even mean to go into this, but that is something for me that we can't continue to be like, it's MAGA only, as if adding more labels to more situations when really it is just the conservative viewpoint. Doesn't really matter which way you fall into that or why. If you're willing to vote for things that harm other people and you take yourself out of that harm, and you're just like, well, it ain't gonna happen to me, so I ain't tripping. You're not thinking with a populist view. You are not you are not for the people. You know what I mean? Like, so nothing in that party has changed except for the poster people for it. And what those poster people have done.
Right.
It's just moving much, 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 much faster. But yeah, so we want to talk about possibilities. We're going to talk about the actual, what can be done moving forward, how we can organize, how we can connect together and move forward. So join us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tuesday, February 25th. Let me look up the time of the call because I'm notoriously bad for remembering the numbers of something.
I am glad that you guys are doing this. I'll admit, again, with everything that was happening, that has happened, it's easy to just fall into a cynical place and just kind of disconnect and feel like, what is there to do?
Right.
I'm going to hop on the PS5. But I remember us having, continuing conversations leading into the election and saying we really need people to exercise that imagination to understand what's on the horizon.
Yeah.
And it's equally important to exercise your imagination after the fact to figure out how we're going to make it through this.
Yes.
One would say it's important to have vision. So I brought vision. As you can see, hello, my guy. How are you?
Hi, Vision.
Old school vision. Yes.
So that mass call is happening tomorrow night from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Link will be in our bio, in our stories. And you can go to Equitable Giving Circle or Imagine Black right now and get all of that info, including the link. You can RSVP for it. It's a Zoom call, so you don't have to leave your house.
Boom.
Or if you are, on the road, join, and hands-free, of course. But yeah, it should be a great conversation. Yeah,
I'll be tuned in.
Good to know.
Yeah. And I'll be in the comments.
Oh, great.
I
hope I won't be able to see those.
Just helping along.
Okay. What happened with Jay-Z? Because I stopped.
Stop being interested in it.
Well, no, but I'm just not really looking forward to hearing more about Red Sense. So,
well, he's countersuing. He's countersuing the ambulance chaser lawyer.
He's suing the lawyer.
Yeah.
Not
the accuser.
Okay.
Yes, he is suing the He is suing the lawyer, for what was it? Blackmail. He's accusing the lawyer of blackmail. Yes.
What? You can civilly sue for being blackmailed, but not because that's doing a crime.
Yeah,
I think. This just happened, so it's not like the statute of limitations is up. What are we talking about?
My whole thing is
someone a gold digger? I don't know. This sounds like
you're a billionaire. And I'm not saying, if you're wronged, don't sue. This is the U.S., capitalism, the way things work, blah, 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 blah. It just seems like in this situation, a little extra. We've already talked about how he's handled all of this so far and how extra that has seemed. This adds to it. I'm going to bury you. Okay. All right. You didn't do the thing? The case got withdrew? All right, let's just move on. But who am I? Who am I to say how someone who feels wrongly accused should move on?
Yeah.
Sure. Who am I? I'm just,
I need a lawyer in the chat. Because I'm corn fuzzled. I'm not understanding what you're saying to me. If there were if a crime happened in pursuit of a lawsuit, isn't that then a criminal action? Or is there no prosecutor willing to take a peek at that? Or I guess I'm asking this question. It's not like Jay-Z doesn't have, the $1 billion lawyers on retainer.
Deck. Right.
So it's not that what are you, breaking laws? I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is something to be, I don't know.
No. What are you going to say?
It feels very much like, and I guess this could be considered a hot take because this is the first I'm hearing of this, so I don't really know the surrounding situations, and I don't know if this is a thing that makes sense to do. But this very much feels like Drake suing UMG and not Kendrick.
Yeah.
And I don't...
He's got a vendetta
what
now.
are the optics of you suing someone who accused you and then retracted? Not great. Yeah. Not going to be good. But taking that lawyer to task that you're like ambulance chaser, you're not even like a real good lawyer. You're, you're a guy that makes it up. Which is funny because ambulance chasers, if you are going to stick with that, lightweight slur or whatever, I don't know what that should be called, a jab. The thing about that to me, it is just such the American, make fun of the wrong thing.
Yeah.
So by saying that this person chases ambulances, does that mean that there wasn't something to chase? Like if someone is harmed and then representation shows up, does that mean that they're not a lawyer? Like what? Yeah. What do you mean?
Jay is he's feeling really weird to me right now. He feels like
very billionaire white wealth.
Yeah, it feels like he walks around in petticoats in his spare time. And it's just like, what's happening? Carmen said,
Double
"Oh man,
Andre.
I was driving into a parking garage and it was choppy, and all I heard was my whole thing is, and then it came back when you said, But who am I to judge? Dang it! I want to know who. I want to know who the thing was. I just told her it was Jay. She said, "I said Jay-Z." She said, "Say less."
Fair.
Yeah, it just it's. I don't know. I don't know this guy. I don't know this hoe.
Very, very unfamiliar.
Oh.
Very, very unfamiliar.
Yeah, I don't.
Just not even. Jay has spent so much time being like, I would never address that.
That's what I'm saying. This is why this is so strange to me.
I wouldn't even waste a drop of my time.
And let me ask you, as a Jay, are you a former Jay fan? How do I refer to the relationship?
I don't even know. I'm a Jay fan.
Okay.
I feel like it's not safe to be a fan of any fucking body anymore. What I have definitely done is, detached any sort of like personal anything to any of these beings.
Yeah.
But okay. So as a yes,
I like what you're saying though, because this is kind of like how we have to be. Like the level of connection, the dynamics of our relationships have changed. Like we're distancing ourselves and creating buffers between ourselves and the artists and the creators that before was like, oh, that's what? You get into an argument. He would never. We don't know anything. The more we find out about them, the more we find out we don't know anything about these people.
The more I find out the expectation for any of those people to act like you,
bruh,
or act like what they have portrayed, silly business.
Yeah.
Absolutely silly business. And not that it wasn't like sort of understood previously, but we all have some sort of relationship with the people that make the things that we love, and especially when it comes to, I don't think it is exclusive to hip hop.
No.
But speaking specifically about hip hop and rappers and how many of them are coming from a perspective that is closer to yours than not.
Yes.
You have to be reminded, like Jay-Z did not, he has been rich a really, really long time.
Yeah.
A really, really long time.
Yeah.
He has been rich longer than he hasn't. So much so that the growth that he has done and the growth that we have done look like that, because the growth that we have done, in our individual journeys and all of those things is just emphasizes more how community and being together and making sure that we are taking care of each other is happening. And the further and further away wealthy people get from ever having been a part of either of that community or needing that community or, the further and further they get away, I don't know why we are expecting them to continue to have that lens.
To be continuing to be relatable.
I mean, I think that is a good distillation. I just don't, I don't even expect them to be relatable.
Yeah.
And what annoys me or gets me is when they try to tell me they're relatable. When they show up and it's like, oh, well, we got to get people to understand a thing. So it's going to be Jay-Z who comes and tells me about crypto. Bitch, right. No. Just even that on its own, like Jay-Z trying to bring cryptocurrency to Marcy projects where you grew up and you know what that poverty looks like. It isn't you left, the poverty did not leave. The poverty got worse.
Yeah.
But when you have already been steeped in capitalism, steeped in patriarchy, and you fully believe that you, sir, got it out of the mud in a way that,
Yeah.
When that is your framing, you are looking back at people like, get off your ass.
So
you know what I'm saying? Okay, so you're not gonna get off your ass? Let me show you how you can make this money sitting on your ass. You can't make that money sitting on your ass from cryptocurrency. That is a scam, sir. Like, the last thing any poverty-stricken place needs is more ways to extract the teeny tiny bit of money that they have for them to have nothing at the end of it and for billionaires to have all of it. It's absolutely disgusting that he ever even ventured into that shit. So what ends up happening is once you realize how detrimental these fucking billionaires are and how their entire mindset changes completely. Even if he thought that he was doing a good thing, then you are a bigger dummy than I ever thought.
So that's where I was going to go next, right? Because that falls in line with the Nets investment, as well as watching all of these people that we thought were really, really, not that they're not really creative, not that they're really gifted in that way, but sometimes we think that carries over into other fields. So again, watching both Swizz and Timbaland cozy up to Elon, like I was pulling my hair out. Like, why would you ever? And then the same thing with Dave Chappelle, pulling him up on stage so he could say, I'm rich, bitch. Like, we don't need that.
Whose dumbass idea was that in the first place?
Right.
I just really like, these are the disconnection that someone like Dave Chappelle could have, that we would want to hear or see Elon Musk come out on stage and say he's rich, bitch. Did you forget why you wrote that sketch?
Right. Come on, man.
Who was that sketch for and about? Why do you want him up there saying that in the first place when the reason nobody else has any fucking thing is because of him and people like him?
Right.
Insanity.
All right. Lakeitha is showing all the love.
Oh, hi. let me calm the fuck down.
What up, Britt?
Who?
My homie Britt. He's a chef back east. We actually used to work together at, was it KB Toys? I think it was KB Toys. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So P-Town asked for the mass call info in the chat. I will definitely find it. Definitely put it in there for you.
Sweet.
Before the night is over.
Yeah. Carmen said, I left my spin class this evening when the instructor put on Love Lockdown. Mind you, it was the last song, but still, I was over the class anyway.
I said, I'm done.
And took it as a sign to scram out of there.
Completely fair. Like, and such a good song. And you just don't hear it the same.
Yeah. So,
like, that's the thing. I don't hear these songs the same anymore.
You can't. So where I was going when I asked you about would you still consider yourself, a fan, and before that we were saying like the old Jay would be like, I don't respond to this, I would never. And didn't that kind of like as we were growing up listening to his music, didn't that kind of like rub off as something to kind of like aspire to with handling situations like? You know what? You right.
You right. I ain't even doing that.
I ain't even doing that. Come on, man.
Sure. Why not?
So it's like watching you train us up in this way, and then here you are,
all to
wilding.
Be like,
I'm suing you, you ambulance chaser. Every red penny. Like, yeah, I don't know. It just don't. How do y'all feel about Jay countersuing? I don't know. It seems like un-Jay-Z like behavior.
To use one of my favorite words, yucky.
What do the kids say? It gives me the ick. That's what the kids just say.
That phrase gives me the ick. Oh boy, the internet will wear a fine thing to the nub. Like, I do not. There's almost no phrase that I care about that I care to hear anymore. Like, I just don't.
Hey, that still works with you.
That still works for me. Hey. It absolutely does still work for me.
Carmen said Big Pimpin' was one of the first rap songs I memorized. I liked it because someone said, go read a book, you illiterate son of a bee.
Carmen? I feel like I shouldn't be surprised, but for you to say that's the first rap song that you memorize the words, like, fam, can that be real? Just even in time? Like, nah, let me leave it alone.
It's possible, man. It is possible.
You know I love you, K Supreme, and you can, to this day, confuse the shit out of me. Big pimpin'. Although Bun B is fantastic and did say, go read the book, you illiterate son of a bitch.
Yeah. Shout out to my homie Chris Wang, chilling up in the chat on Facebook.
So I did find the stuff. I'm going to cut, I'm going to paste, but I have to go to the bathroom. So
all right.
You have to let me out.
Okay. All right. So we're going to cut and paste. You're going to add that to the John.
Yeah. I'll be right back. Ambush will delight you with everything.
Well.
Or not. I don't know.
Well, you know, for anyone that just joined us, what Morgan's going to be pasting, cutting and pasting, is an event that she'll be part of tomorrow night, hosted by Equitable Giving Circle. For anyone that does not know about Equitable Giving Circle, they're an institution here, organization here in Portland that is feeding, I believe, over 400 families each week with their free pantry on Thursdays. I believe it starts at 11 a.m. Don't let me get the times wrong. You can definitely check out their website, check out their Instagram, but they've been doing amazing work for 5 years straight now. And tomorrow is a community call just for everyone to kind of like, you know, not necessarily reset, but talk about and find some hope with all the changes that are happening right now at the government level. So, yes, Morgan will be part of that conversation. I'm going to be chilling in the chat or running in and out of the room, possibly trying to distract her while she's on camera. I'll behave myself. I promise. I will behave myself. I'm not going to cut up. There's a time and place for that foolishness. Carmen said it's supposed to be a safe place. Yes, Alice. Big shout out to EGC. And I love, like, the staff and volunteers from EGC. It's just fam. Every time I go into an event where I'm working or just kicking it with them, to see someone else that I didn't see at the past event that is in there now just doing the work, it's like, oh, yes. Of course I saw you here. Of course this is where you're popping up. Yeah. Doesn't matter if you personally know AJ or not. This is the work that, you know, I will find you doing. It just makes absolute sense. So shout out to Alice and anybody else from EGC that was checking us out. You know? Yeah, I gotta move the table up. That's all. Yeah. I
don't know what I missed.
All I did was recap what the event is tomorrow.
Gotcha.
That's all I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just cutting and pasting, and then I'm back in all the way for all the things.
Yeah. So we do have the break in about 15, but I think we can jump a little bit into the little NBC shakeup. I don't know if you guys have heard this. And you know what? I don't know. Maybe do you even watch traditional media? I'm sure some of you do. But MSNBC is kind of cleaning up the black and brown voices over there. People losing shows left and right today. So Joy Reid was the first person I heard that got her show canceled. And I stopped watching Joy pre-pandemic. Yeah. There was definitely a point in time when it was exciting seeing younger black and brown people on traditional media. The marketing and the impact worked. It developed, well, the intent was to develop trust with these news organizations because you're seeing people that you felt looked like and was at the same, level of engagement in the world, just like you, listening to the same music, going to the same movies, having similar opinions. With this whole erasure of DEI policies And, this violent reversal of any progress that's been made, not just in media, but of course in government. A lot of these organizations are now like, look, we've done it. We've done the DEI thing. We've done, we've made attempts at equity, and it doesn't pay off. It just doesn't pay off. What's,
when you go woke, you go broke. Okay?
Yeah. When you go woke, you go broke. So part of that is what they're doing right now, cleaning the clock, cleaning out the, cleaning the clock, cleaning up the schedule and getting all these black and brown people out of here. So yeah, Joy, there was a call last night, I believe, organized by some of the same people that organized Black Women for Kamala. And during that call, she expressed, what it felt like to not just lose her show, but for, her staff and the people that worked on her show to lose their jobs. And, just the impact of that. The amount of job loss that has been happening just since Trump's administration started, how are they going to champion unemployment numbers? I started thinking about that like a couple of days ago. Like, how are y'all going to try to flip the script on this? Because y'all are firing so many people as a result.
All of those people will just join the private sector. So they won't be unemployed.
Okay.
They'll be employed for someone like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Mark the Pumpkin King or
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I can't. I don't know.
Right.
That's the point. You shrink the federal government so that it cannot function in the way that we need it to be, so that it can't do any of the things that it should do.
Right.
And they know that you got to work to eat. You got to do, people, you are going to have to work. If they are the biggest employers and they have already pulled the bullshit of, without all of us job creators, what would any of you poors do?
Right.
Really, you should be thanking us for what we've brought to your table or whatever the fuck it is that they convince themselves that they've,
that they've done.
That they're that without them, there is no world or whatever.
Right.
Those are the people that are just going to continue to benefit from any sort of government problem. Now, I know that seems tricky because a lot of these people are only billionaires because of government contracts and because they are able to suck at the teat, if you will. But if you don't have the same federal government requirements and the fulfillment things, like if those aren't the same, and those aren't the same, what your vision of federal government is stifle or repression of a lot of things or oppression of certain people.
Yeah.
You're not going to be looking to bolster any of the things that help people. You are going to be looking to bolster your military, your police forces, taking away the police database that was, created yesterday anyway. So that allows you to track that this person was fired for police brutality, so they can't just go to the next jurisdiction and be like, I cop, and then, yes, you are.
Yeah.
Like, I just, wait, what?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to add that to the doc. We did lose Roberta Flack today. I just saw you boom. Yeah. Shout out to the active chat. For real. Shout out to the active chat. Yeah. Definitely. Thank you, P-Town. Gonna definitely play some Roberta Flack on the break. Man. Lakeitha said, "Go woke, go broke." Sounds like a slogan for the current administration.
Yeah.
Next, t-shirts and hats.
Yeah. Oh, they exist, baby. They're already out here.
I feel like
listen, somebody been wearing a "Go woke, go broke" shirt since Ron DeSantis was doing something. Does he even still have a job? But when he was like, I'm fighting Disney, there you go, woke, you go broke, a whole bunch of yeehaws were like, let me go get that shirt. So, sorry, boo, it exists.
Yeah.
The hat, the drink koozie, whatever it is that they get to tell you, I don't live for none of that woke BS.
Yeah.
They gonna do it. If you just even look at, this is so not a part of anything we're talking about, but like, if you just even on Amazon or any marketplace thing, type in political shirt and see what comes up.
See what pops up. Nasty.
It's wild.
Michelle said, it got another text came through. Purging public employees to send them to shittier jobs to shift the power even further to the
Hello.
bosses.
Thank you for as always, Michelle says the thing, it takes me 17 different sentences to say. Exactly that. This is all to shut down the federal government for what we know it to do right now, to privatize.
Right.
All of the things going away will privatize. Now, we're talking about Elon and Trump, and those are people who don't pay nobody what they were supposed to, even though they said they were going to. So like that whole payout business where people are supposed to choose a payout where I get paid for 8 months of not working. I'm real concerned for every single one of those people that took that deal. Real concerned for it, but it wouldn't matter. Like,
right.
Had they had not taken it, they're going to tell you unemployment don't count for you. They're trying to fire people for cause, which this is so wild to me. They're saying that these people have... I'm sorry, I just got so distracted.
Rapid.
In the chat, someone said, the Office Depot fiance has joined the conversation.
Oh, the homie.
And,
what up, though?
And that just excited me.
Yeah.
And it made me lose my train of thought. So
I love it. That's Thursday listenership
thanks,
carried
Matt.
over into Monday listenership.
That's crazy.
Yes.
And actually, I don't know if I was trying to read the name and I may have read that wrong, but
I think it is Matt. Is that Matt?
What was I trying to say? Elon, Trump, privatization. Oof. Oh, it's all bad. I don't remember what I was saying.
But it was in response to Michelle saying, the shift into...
It's all to privatize.
Right. All of it. Every single move right now is just towards privatization. And it's wild that people aren't recognizing that. I remember asking Elias, where are the rest of the other Republican billionaires? And why are they cool with Elon just getting all these contracts? And I remember having that conversation with them.
Why don't they want a piece?
Yeah, why aren't they having some pushback on Elon? And both you and Elias were like, well, because Elon's running around breaking everything. Yeah. They're totally fine with that. Go in there, be the battering ram.
Yeah.
Break everything, kick the doors down, and we'll come through. Some of them will present themselves as heroes.
Yep.
And others are just, like you said, wait for the gravy train to just keep, flowing their direction. But yeah, it was very confusing. It's still somewhat very confusing.
Well, it's hard to understand if you come from a lens of just like, even if you're like, what do they call it? A non-interventionist, right? Mm-hmm. Where they're like, well, we shouldn't even pay attention to those things. Even if you come from it from that angle of like, don't ruin certain things, norms or laws, or so many, like what it takes in order for people to be a billionaire, you have to understand. You have to be willing to exploit people. There is no if and about it. Yeah. There is no such thing as an ethical billionaire. In order for you to amass and hoard that much wealth, people are going without. That's simple.
Yeah.
And so, number one, we can't be looking at these people like that's an aspirational thing. It absolutely needs to be not possible to become a billionaire. That needs to be illegal.
Right.
In this current administration, the entire point is to make Elon Musk a trillionaire.
Right.
Like, a lot of these billionaires don't care if they're the first to do it, but if there's a path laid out for them to become a trillionaire, like, can you even fathom that? And I don't, that's not even a real question, because people cannot fathom what $1 billion means.
No.
And the fact that the guy has 400 of those. Like, I don't know how many different ways to demonstrate the difference between $1 million and $1 billion. If it's piles of rice or words on a piece of paper, like, it doesn't matter.
Or units of time.
Yeah, it just still doesn't really hit the mass amount of people that it needs to hit. Like,
yeah.
Because if you really understood just how much money that is and how many people would have to be exploited for someone to have that, and how their lives have to be crap, and then you start to understand that all of these corporations that claim to be job producers and claim to be great parts of additions to a city or whatever, they literally are there exploiting the community that they are coming into, and workers not being paid a living wage in order, not even for your business to get better, but for some hands to get more money, is wild. Like, the business models don't get, the business, what we receive on the business end doesn't get better.
Right.
Just like streaming services. Every single one of them sucks. Every single one of them sucks. Just as an application.
And they got us in the headlock.
That should work.
They got us in the headlock,
They
bro.
fucking suck. And then they're like, oh, I'm going to charge you money. I'm going to change this whole structure and throw in ads. You changed the way we watch TV. You made me pay for subscription services so that I could get away from cable and get away from ads. And now you're bringing the ads, and I'm supposed to.
Right.
In what regard? It's charge the membership so there's no ads.
Right.
Oh, psych, charge the membership with ads and a membership without ads and a membership without ads plus. Like, it's nothing but just exploiting the fuck out of everything and just extracting every single fucking dollar that any of us have ever made. All for one, a handful of people to be able to, like, eat at a table together, holding turkey legs and sloshing wine around.
Michelle said, "Enshittification."
Yes!
Oh my gosh. She said, I just want to let the billionaires fight each other and keep us out of it.
I wish that was the case. They're united.
What does that look like, though?
There's only a handful of them.
I was going to say, what is the ripple effect of the billionaires fighting each other? What does that trickle down to us? How does that, oh my gosh.
Well, I can give you an idea. Remember when Jeff Bezos got divorced and Mackenzie was like, I'm going to give you a bunch of this shit. I'm giving this money away. And gave a bunch of money away.
Is that when Elon got mad?
Who didn't get mad? Every single one of those billionaires that's been divorced was like, bitches stealing money. Like, it was like, what is happening? Everyone's a gold digger.
I'm upset.
Was she a gold digger when you were like, I better marry her?
Oh God.
But they were all big pissed. Everyone was like, see, that's why you gotta have a prenup. You can't be out here giving... Because the trickle down in that moment was she was like, what could I do with all this money? Like,
right.
There's all these things. All these people need things.
Who am I to harbor what these people need?
Of the handful, you have a thimbleful of people that are like, yeah, we probably shouldn't hold on to all of this. I don't know. And I don't even know who, I don't know if that woman is a great person who, I have no idea. I know she's doing better things than her husband ever did. I know that.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
But the only way to be an ethical billionaire, in my opinion, is if you get that windfall of becoming a billionaire in your divorce or you become no longer a billionaire by giving money directly to sources that can do something with it. And I don't mean starting your next 15 foundations with your name on it so that we can all know that you were the one that did it. There are too many people suffering, and it's too much fucking money out there. And for the way that we handle it and the way that it just goes to a brand new started today nonprofit saying, I'm going to fix it. And then that person is, what's his fucking face, who just scams all over the place. What's his name? Kevin Dahlgren. Like, that kind of person gets a bunch of money in grants and a bunch of money in contracts.
Yep.
Because the gag is they don't mean to fix any of it.
Yeah.
The gag is without having this level of poverty, they can't have that level of wealth.
Period. I would like to submit someone for review for your list of ethical billionaires. Now, there are conditions. Like
Bruce
you said,
Wayne is not an ethical billionaire.
His parents got killed. He didn't do anything.
Everybody knows. If you've never seen or read anything about Batman, you know his parents were killed.
Okay? His parents got killed. He was born into it. And then, what does he use his billions for?
Does he still have $1 billion?
He's fighting crime with that billion.
He creates the crime he fights, Ambush.
Oh.
He creates it.
I would venture to say.
He literally takes away from the material conditions of other people in order to buy a Batmobile. Or have Alfred make another thing.
I would dare to counter.
Okay,
and say that the other rich and wealthy families in Gotham are the ones responsible. The Court of Owls and all of that situation. He is the outlier, you know? He's the one going up against them.
Do you really think that he is?
In a manner of speaking.
No.
Definitely.
Are you going to say what the manner is, or
going
to leave that there? Wonderful, because it is break time. Also, Michelle said, you're never going to make Batman defending catch on. Correct.
That Bruce Wayne spends millions to beat up poor people.
First of all, hi, Jordan. How are you? Second of all, exactly that.
Dang it. Jordan.
Like you have to understand that if Bruce Wayne was not the billionaire that he is and the way that he is, the crime in Gotham would not be that. Batman, in the chat, Michelle said, Batman has the means to address the underlying societal condition of crime instead of beating people up expensively.
I'm not going to lie. Beating people up expensively is one of the coolest phrases I've heard this week.
Yes. Yeah.
Beating people up expensively.
Which is exactly what he's doing.
Okay, so that's the t-shirt. Thank you, Michelle. That's the t-shirt.
The fucking takeaways.
Batman logo, beating people up expensively.
Okay, we'll make the shirt.
That's
Alex,
fire.
are you here?
That is fire.
From the chat, I like Tom Hartman's term "morbidly rich" to describe people like Bezos and Zuck. Absolutely.
Facts.
I'm sorry, that's the Zuck.
Yeah.
The pumpkin
facts
king.
on facts. Oh, guess who just popped up on Facebook?
Who?
James.
Perfect timing. We're gonna go right to break right now, James. Let those fingers rest.
It's a quick 10-minute break.
We've already talked about how you want us to have a call-in number. We're gonna make that happen.
Yes, James, we did share your feedback because that's important feedback there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10-minute break. We'll be back at 7:45.
All right. Wait. There's something I'm supposed to say. First off, just because we're on break doesn't mean you guys need to be on break. Definitely continue to conversate. You know what I'm saying? Converse in the chats.
Talk to each other.
You know, talk to each other, keep the conversation going. And if you haven't already, hit the like button.
Yes.
Subscribe.
Yes.
Tell your friends.
Yes.
Hit the comments.
Yes.
Get active in the chat like we just said. You know. And yes, 10-minute break. We'll be right back. I think I will, give us some Roberta Flack.
Well, rest in power to Roberta Flack.
And we are back. Apologies to everyone that was tuning in on Instagram. We're having some audio issues. We believe that those issues are now rectified. So appreciate your patience. Big time. Also, I forgot to mention this earlier. I want to give a shout out to DJ LG1.
Shout out DJ LG1.
Yesterday he had his Meeting of the Minds event, which preceded No Request. So we did have some people stay for that, which was awesome. But it was really, really great having members of the music community come together and him give out some pointers and, give some recaps of the different events that he was at and some things that he has coming up. And the way they end the event, all the attendees get to come up and talk about what they have going on, which is really great. The person that he highlighted yesterday, DJ Aspen.
Shout out DJ Aspen.
Love Aspen. Love
Aspen big time.
Yes. So, yeah, it was great. So definitely want to, major shout out to that. C's, what's good?
What up, C's? You made it. Yo, you were joining hella late over there. What's going on?
C said, hey, this intermission was extra long. And feel like making love was on. What was y'all doing? Cease, sir.
Not that.
We are at work, okay?
Heads out of the gutter, okay?
Jeez.
Family? Come on. C's, are you just joining us? I'm just wondering, just because of the time. Like,
right.
Is it not
time
big time
difference
soon over there? What's going on?
Yeah.
So I have spent today not knowing what's going on in the outside of the world.
Yeah.
I've just gotten some dribbles and drabs.
Yeah.
And it would be great if you could explain to me this MSNBC thing. I mean, I think I've got ideas.
Yeah.
But if you could tell me what's going on with that overhaul.
Definitely. And shout out to Don Lemon, who I do not normally check out his YouTube channel.
Not in the world. Okay.
Yeah, I don't normally check out his YouTube channel at all. I'm not sure how this got into my algorithm. I didn't go seeking it, but
Sure you did.
the algo be rhythming.
Mm-hmm.
And
someone liked and subscribed over there.
Listen.
And it let the algorithm know that he has a channel.
So yeah.
Like and subscribe.
So he covered it this morning. It was quite entertaining, some of his takes, and provided us with a graphic that we're going to be sharing with you guys too. I'm going to send it to you so you have it. But MSNBC unveiled a sweeping reorganization of its primetime lineup today, including the cancellation of Joy Reid's show, the ReidOut. The network is making the changes as part of an effort to maintain high viewership under the Trump administration and consolidate and consolidate production operations in New York, Washington, and Washington, D.C.
Let's go ahead and stop the story. Nothing else to talk about. We have decided that under the Trump administration, we got things to do.
Yeah.
Did they already hire a Megyn Kelly or a Ann Coulter?
Right. Who are
does
they?
Ann get? Does Joy get replaced by Ann?
Who are they going to boost from the podcast sphere that they can pull into MSNBC and underpay? That's the next.
Oh, no one from the anyone in the right wing podcast sphere
is straight to the administration.
Money, hands over fist.
That's a good point.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
MSNBC, number one,
they were like, ugh.
The entire point is to be anti-establishment.
You can't afford me.
Number two, MSNBC is not giving backdoor Russian money,
right.
Or maybe they are, but that's how those right wing.
No, you're right.
That's how those podcasts, they get cash infusions, not just from Russian oligarchs, but from our own.
No, wait, you just said something though. You said they're not getting that Russian money, but maybe they are. But with this shift, right? Doesn't this open them up for those relationships?
I mean, sure.
Maybe they could start giving out the real Russian money.
I think that, sure. It just would not work for the branding of the people that have 20 million subscribers or whatnot that make money without a corporation style boss. So going on MSNBC would make absolutely no sense for any of those people. They make their money telling you that MSNBC is too woke and is everyone there is a DEI hire, even the whites.
And MSNBC is like, no, we're not. Give us a second.
Watch.
Under I really fucked up the whole thing. That was great. Under the reshuffle, former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki will anchor the 9 p.m. slot.
Oh, tight. I mean,
Tuesday
that definitely fucking makes sense.
Tuesday through Friday, while Rachel Maddow will revert to hosting the same hour once a week. I think she's going to be on Monday. Maddow.
Hold the fucking line, Rachel. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, Rachel, who had previously aired only on Mondays, had expanded to a full weeknight schedule in January for the first 100 days of Trump's presidency to boost ratings.
Capitalist. I'm just going to do this now. The show is going to be you reading and me just ad-libbing. I'm not doing any of this. What do you mean?
Oh, C said, just joining, was talking to mom about Trump.
Okay. Fair.
And he said that MSNBC will get Fox cast-offs like Geraldo. Jeez.
No, exactly that. Oh, yeah, exactly that. Geraldo's always going to get a job. Nasty. Know that.
Reid 7 p.m. hour will be taken over by Simone Sanders, Michael Steele, and Alicia Menendez.
Simone still got a job. Oh, damn.
What does that say? What does that say? They kept Simone.
How is the Black Girl Magic feeling right now between the sisters over there?
And
what did she say to Joy?
They will co-host Tuesday through Friday. The trio currently hosts of The Weekend will also take on a 2-hour show on Mondays from 7 to 9 p.m. Their weekend programming had previously increased MSNBC's viewership in the Saturday and Sunday 8 a.m. slot by 35% in its first year. The changes will also affect MSNBC's weekend programming. Jonathan Capehart will co-anchor a new 7 a.m. edition of The Weekend on Saturdays and Sundays, while Eamon Medellin, I definitely butchered that.
Definitely don't watch MSNBC.
I don't.
Yeah.
Will take on the 6 p.m. edition. As he moves to the new show, his weekend program, Eamon, will be canceled. Meanwhile, Ali Velshi will expand his show, Velshi, by an additional hour. I like Ali. MSNBC is also shutting down its Miami broadcasting operation, leading to the cancellation of Jose Diaz-Ballart's Reports and the Katie Fang Show. Despite the closures, Fang will remain with the network as a legal correspondent, while Diaz will continue anchoring weekly nightly news for MSNBC. MSNBC will establish a dedicated Washington bureau amid the changes.
Okay, no, wait. So we're draining the swamp, but we're also going to go live there?
So also, I remember, who has the Teo? What's one guy's name?
Mehdi Hassan.
Didn't they offer him they canceled his show and was like, but you can stay on as a contributor. And then he was like, I'm good.
And he was like, cool. Here, shall I take my pants down?
He was like, consider these. Yeah.
No, but real quick. Mm-hmm. They're leaving Florida for DC.
Yeah.
As the administration is making America Florida again.
Oh my gosh.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Can they keep up with the own shit that they're trying to do? Do they know where Trump lives? He don't live at the White House.
Bruh.
Do they know where he lives? Why would you not have a station in Florida if this is what you know what?
Reid confirmed the cancellation of the ReidOut in a post on Blue Sky, stating that the final episode will air Monday. Yeah. MSNBC President Rebecca Cutler, in a memo obtained by CNN, emphasized that the network is growing despite the restructuring and will be hiring over 100 new positions in the coming months.
Is that what you want to hear as a person who just got their shit canceled?
Definitely not. Staff from the ReidOut were notified of their terminations, but were encouraged to apply for new roles within the network.
Oh my God. How many places have you worked where all of a sudden them hoes got bought and then they were like, you win, we gotta fire everybody, but you can reapply. And it's oh my God.
That reapply business is nasty. I remember getting that offer once, and I was like, no. I was like, no, I don't want to. But then someone from HR reached out to me and was like, well, we see that you didn't reapply. However, there's a position.
We really love for you to work here.
And this position is more money, and it's a different location. And that was when I was working for the Resnicks.
I can't breathe.
The shakeup comes amid speculation that MSNBC's programming changes were made to appease President Trump, who has frequently criticized the network. When asked whether canceling the ReidOut was an attempt to gain favor with the administration, Cutler denied the claim, stating, no, it did not.
Yeah, I bet.
So, in Don Lemon's conversation about it this morning...
Don Lemon.
He was taking some shots all over the place. He definitely was. It was, like I said, it was pretty entertaining. But there was a phrase he kept saying over again, which is independent media. And while we are definitely not just consumers of independent media, we're contributors to independent media. We are independent media. I feel like watching this exodus from corporate media, and people fleeing over to independent media, it's going to be interesting watching this landscape change. Now, since the administration was in place, we've been talking about what this is going to look like for us. And Kash, Patel and
damn bongos,
they are going after, and not to jump stories, but they're going after enemies of the state.
Enrique Tarrio.
No, that's a friendly of the state.
Damn.
You can't be out here just talking all reckless on social media. Zuck will rat you out quick fast. The Zuck will rat you out in the name of freedom. Free speech. There's all that stuff you can do on Twitter, apparently. But yeah, C says, sounds like Elon bought MSNBC last night.
Yo. I'm going to say again, the ability for any of these people to own major media outlets is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, flat out. So I'm curious as to what this is all going to look like as we're seeing, Joy Reid and Don over here now, and many of the other people that have been let go, because I feel like this is just the beginning of the purge. We're going to see more of this on CNN and other places that find themselves or pretend as if they're in the center.
Well, so it's my understanding that CNN did this a while ago.
They already did their purge?
Well, I don't know who's on the lineup anymore, but it was my understanding that they had coalesced a while ago. And MSN, or was it the other way around? Was it MSNBC that was like, I don't know. All I know is Joe Scarborough still has a 4-hour show. Yikes. You know what I'm saying? Like the morning Joe is still popping.
Yeah.
You can still have your centrist, most favoritist, takes on all the things, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Did they accept it? You got it?
I got it.
Cool. Jess, we have a graphic for you guys. Jess, if you could throw that graphic up real quick. C's was like, yeah, you're right. It was CNN first when they got rid of Don.
Okay, thank you, C's.
They got rid of Don Lemon.
Yeah, Don Lemon had to go.
So this graphic, you are correct earlier when we were talking about it. These numbers are subscribers.
Okay.
So this graphic is a reflection of the current media landscape.
Independent media landscape. Okay,
First
we are
off,
actually very big time. It is showing on our...
Listen.
Jess?
Big things. Just killing it.
All the love, all the praise. Just... The show is doing what I want the show to do, Thank you. Thank you very much.
Do y'all see this? I did not know.
I can't wait to know.
I did not know Russell Brand was doing numbers like this.
What is the matter with you?
Because I just tuned out of Russell Brand so long ago. You know what I'm saying? So I understand now that a lot of these numbers are pre the foolishness he was on. But some of that did this all grow from the fake health stuff?
What would be really dope of Don's producer team to let us know what those folks, the people like Russell Brand and Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro. No, I didn't mean to say his name. But even Jordan Peterson.
Right.
People that were talking.
Wow.
Were doing Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin was like, I left TYT because I'm a regular liberal. I'm not like those, extreme liberals over there.
Right.
Dave Rubin was never a liberal. He was never gonna do any of those things, and whatever. But these folks who have started their content in the, I don't even know what to call it because it's different for all of them, but it wasn't right-wing centered.
Right.
They are all a part of different pipelines.
Right.
No question.
Manosphere stuff.
Well, so even just taking those people, Joe Rogan is king of the manosphere.
Right.
Without folks knowing it, though. They don't go, where do I find the manosphere? Oh, is it Joe Rogan? Like, that's not what happens.
Right.
But he is a huge, huge leader into that pipeline. Russell Brand is bringing folks to the conservative right-wing ideology from the wellness end. Right. Jordan Peterson was wellness but self-help, right? Mm-hmm. So hey guys, you really do a bunch of stuff to make yourself better.
Right.
But then started slipping in the misogyny to it of like, but shouldn't you own that woman? Mm-hmm. Shouldn't the government give you a wife?
Right.
Like, you got to take a shower and you got to be a person and you got to eat well and all of those things. But also, shouldn't the government give you a wife? I want to know what their trajectory was, meaning what was the followership before the cash infusion from the right wing, before they got Heritage Foundation money, before they got Russian money, before they got, like, whoever threw all of the things at them, but the Mercers.
Right.
I want to know what those subs looked like then.
Right.
Because Ben Shapiro having 23 million followers or subs or whatever on YouTube, definitely a thing. But they spend millions of dollars on like they did a full 3 or so year, full blown millions of dollars on Facebook Blitz.
Yeah.
The reason you know that name isn't just because.
Right.
Like even like the PBD, what is the P Patrick Bet David?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
PBD podcast. That went from no one ever heard of this motherfucker to 12 million subscribers, and all he ends up talking about is like, oh, I just talk money except for, and then it's right wing. Right. You know what I mean? Like, they're serving it up. And I'm sorry, did I take over?
No, go, finish your point.
Because the thing is, when you look at a graphic like this and you see all these red bubbles and you see how big they are and how many people are following it, you may get the idea that means that there's that many more people wanting that content. Right. And that isn't necessarily the case. Of course, there are people that want this content. But the reason that the blue bubbles, even for the bigger ones, the reason they're so far and few between is because nobody invests in people that are talking about doing something better for the greater good. They're not throwing the same amount of money, does not come that way. So when you're looking at this and you see Hassan Piker at 4.5 million, know that also there's 100,000 people watching him daily in his chat.
Yeah. Live.
But that is actually a far more organic reach to get to those people than any of these other things. He's never had the millions of dollars behind him that Ben Shapiro has had to buy those ads and make you know his name, whether you believe in what he's saying or not. So yeah, I want to know what Russell Brand's numbers were before COVID hit and before COVID hit, because that's when he took his that's what broke his brain, just like it broke Joe Rogan's brain, just like it broke all of these other people's, you know what I mean? Like, Charlie Kirk is born brain broken.
Michelle said the alt wellness and woo to fascism pipeline is a problem and has been for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Just said Naomi Klein calls it the far right meeting the far out.
Yeah. True.
So if you are a person who follows Russell Brand and you were just there for the, like, I loved this guy from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and then you followed him into, he's, you know, spiritual and wellness and like, let's take care of our bodies. And you're watching all of that. And then all of a sudden he's telling you that vaccines are actually 5-chip, blah, blah, you know, and then we're also keep your eye on the government because they're trying to do a psyop on you right now.
I think there was also another little pocket of time that makes this even more sinister, because right before the wellness stuff, when he was having conversations, he was coming out as the pushback against the establishment guy.
Right.
So there were things that he was saying that was like, go Russell. Okay, here you are, an actor, musician.
Sounds like Alex Jones, right?
No. Yeah.
So but my point in that moment is we got to get to the point where you can spot that shit before it happens.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I like for Joe Rogan, I spotted that shit.
Yeah.
I saw it. Like, dude is up there just lying, and this is years ago.
Yeah.
And me just recognizing how dangerous it is to allow people to do their ideas on your show, and you don't know what their ideas are.
Come on, bro.
And that was me in that, you know, however many years ago, believing that Joe was like, I don't know anything. I'm just a
Just a regular guy having a conversation.
I'm just a dude doing 3-hour conversation.
Yeah. C said, if you notice, the first thing billionaires buy is media, whether that be newspapers, social media, TV. They understand the key to winning.
1,000%. No question.
To winning is influence.
No question. And that's why, one, it should be illegal to become a billionaire. And two, it certainly should be illegal for one person to continue to buy all of the things. Like, Jeff Bezos has no business owning the Washington Post plus you know what I mean?
Right.
Rupert Murdoch. Like, you should not be able to own Fox and the New York Post and it monopolizes what news is.
Yeah.
Like we're already sitting in a place where news is what they find worthy. And the way that they give us the news is how they want to tell the story, not necessarily what the story is.
Period.
And when you add an interest on top of that from somebody who should not have what they have and should certainly not have the power that they can flex, when they're the owner, they're definitely are coming down on some, like, no, you're not going to talk about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Media Matters for creating that graphic Don shared. But it was very, very eye-opening to see how much was out there, especially some of the names I don't even recognize. And then some of the names that I do recognize, like seeing who was larger and who had smaller audiences. Like Theo Vaughn is someone that came into my understanding and across my desk via you not too long ago. Dr. Phil, he's at 14 million. Theo's at 22. And this is like, holy smokes.
Well, so I don't know what the backing of Theo Vaughn is. I don't know what I've not looked into it. I just remember the very first time I saw him on like a YouTube clip in some sort, I was like, ain't that the dude from like Real World or Road Rules? Am I bugging?
Right.
No, I wasn't. That dude was on Road Rules. And he there is something about him that feels very sincere about the wanting to learn. Mm-hmm. But in the same exact vein as Joe Rogan, if you have zero understanding about what someone is coming on your show to talk about, you have no business having that conversation then. Is there no pre-production meeting?
Oh, it sounds like Breakfast Club.
No shit. Well,
that's what that sounds like.
Okay.
That sounds like what Charlamagne and them be doing.
I mean, my issue with so many of these outlets or, you know, whatever, is that the idea that you can just show up to your show.
Man.
You can just show up. You don't you don't actually have to know what someone's going to talk about. Like, is someone just booking the stuff and then you just show up? Like, I don't even, are you choosing who comes on the show? I don't understand this thing.
Right.
But to the point of like, I thought I will give Theo Von, I will give him the grace of, I believe he wants to learn.
Right.
Does that make sense? Everything he is doing is dangerous because he is not informed enough to have the level of conversations that he's having with white supremacists, with incredibly harmful, patriarchal manosphere dudes, right? People that are pushing dog whistles that go right the fuck past man's, he don't even hear it if it doesn't have something to do with classism.
No, it doesn't.
And there's a lot that I appreciate about someone who understands being poor and that the system is against you. But if you can't put together that you as a poor person, and very specifically a poor white person, if you can't put together that it's going to be harder for a poor other person, I just can't, I have a hard time moving forward, right? Add to it that it's everything. Like all of these conversations are coming at you extra fast when you don't know enough.
Yeah.
And when your audience is this large and your audience is this young and impressionable, you have absolutely zero business dabbling in the fucking marketplace of ideas. That we're 10 years past that bullshit. So it's like to do the second coming is wild. Wild.
Yeah.
But the point is, a Tucker Carlson, who is a seasoned veteran at every single war against poor people, every war against someone who isn't a wealthy white man. He is a seasoned vet. He out here getting 13 million and was legacy media like a motherfucker. Like, man, when you are known as one of the most influential anchors of Fox News, and you're able to pretend that you are some sort of fucking right-wing populist and that you care about people, but bitch, you are Tucker, McNair, Carlson, Swanson. Like, you are literally legacy money. This is not you ain't grow up that way. You grew up that way.
Right.
For you to get to go, and then Steve Bannon does the same shit where you're railing against legacy media like you ain't it. The young people don't fuck with it. The young people go to Theo Von and they're like, let me listen to the dude who said he doesn't know anything. We're all on our journey. That's what makes Theo Von and Joe Rogan more dangerous because they have credibility with people as being a person.
Right.
A relatable person.
Right.
Tucker and his fucking bow ties are not relatable. Tucker looks like a political ad no matter what he's doing. If he's in a plaid shirt, if he's in a suit and tie, bow tie,
hard.
no matter what it is,
hard.
He looks like every cliche of a political ad.
Right.
But Theo Von is going to give you a trucker hat and a t-shirt. Joe Rogan been bald since you knew him.
See, said Trump said he loves the poor and uneducated. So do those influencers. Flat out. Flat out.
Oucha magoucha.
What's your guy's name? Bongos? What's his?
Dan Bongino, otherwise known as Dan Bongo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that guy. Hate that guy. Awful guy. Yeah.
Also, your daughter.
I catch Dan.
Your daughter's tuned in on Instagram.
I'm trying very hard not to like squeal and say hi. I love you so much. Hi, Kay.
We miss you.
Miss you so much.
College girl. FBI director.
Yeah.
The newly appointed FBI director, Kash Patel, plans major staff relocations.
I just need to make sure that I understand. We're moving right on because I have one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
And that one more thing to say is you can see here that Dennis Prager has 3.7 million followers. I don't yet see Prager University here.
Right.
Which, even if PragerU had 3.7 million, PragerU is in curriculum.
Yeah.
PragerU,
That
which is just made the fuck up. It's just like, what does Dennis Prager want to tell you?
That influence can't be measured.
Can't be measured, baby.
Nah, not at all.
Not when you get that government contract that puts you right into the elementary schools.
Yeah.
Indoctrination.
So, newly appointed FBI Director Kash Patel has announced plans to relocate up to 1,500 FBI employees from Washington, D.C. to field offices around the country, including a significant transfer of personnel to the FBI's Huntsville, Alabama facility. The move is part of Patel's broader effort to reduce the agency's presence in the nation's capital and shift its focus towards violent crime prevention in communities across the country.
Tight. So we're dead.
The plan, which was communicated to senior officials on Friday, aligns with Patel's longstanding vision of restructuring the FBI's operations. Director Patel has made clear his promise to the American public that FBI agents will be in communities focused on combating violent crime. The agency said in a statement, though specific details were not provided. Patel was officially sworn in on Friday in a ceremony attended by President Trump, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and several Republican lawmakers. That is just a very terrible sentence. Patel, a former Justice Department counterterrorism prosecutor, was confirmed by the Senate in a narrow 51-49 vote, with two Republicans, Senator Susan Collins of Maine and Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, breaking ranks to oppose his nomination. His appointment has sparked concerns among Democrats who fear he may use his position to target Trump's political opponents, citing his past remarks about going after alleged anti-Trump conspirators. I'm going to pause right here.
Cool.
His appointment has sparked concerns among Democrats who fear he may use his position to target Trump's political opponents. It's moments like this when I'm like, why do you have a fear of what is certain? Like, Trump campaigned on this. There's no may. It's very clear. Whether it was Kash, it doesn't matter who he put in. He made it crystal clear. Hey, this is what I'm going to do. And y'all fear is way too late. It wasn't potent ahead of time.
In all honesty, the idea is that campaigning is campaigning.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to say stuff to get people to vote for you, but you're not really going to do that thing, right?
Are you talking about Dems here?
I'm talking about everybody.
I got a little confused with that.
Sorry. I think that a lot of, there are a lot of Republicans, watch those man on the street interviews where it's like, well, have you heard about this? Well, he's not really going to do that. Oh, well, that's not a priority. Nobody's going to do that. The farmers that were like, there's no way that they'll do mass deportations. We won't eat.
Yeah.
All this food is going to go to waste. Oh, LOL. You just have not paid attention to anything outside of the ranch, I guess. I don't know. Sorry.
They lacked vision. Uncle C said,
Stop playing.
Uncle C's in the building.
Uncle C's is in the chat?
Uncle C's is in the chat on Facebook.
Get here. Get here now. Keep saying it.
During his confirmation hearing, Patel insisted he would uphold the Constitution and not engage in political retribution. However, at his swearing in, he criticized the media for what he called fake, malicious, slanderous, and defamatory reporting about him. Trump praised Patel, saying, I think he'll go down as the best ever at that position.
Who said that?
Trump. And he claimed FBI agents love this guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
The FBI already has a presence at the Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, where more than 1,300 personnel work in various capacities. Patel has previously suggested closing the FBI's headquarters in Washington and turning it into a museum of the deep state. Reflecting his belief that the agency has been has been weaponized against conservatives in recent years.
This is not.
I heard them mention that earlier,
yeah,
too.
This is not. We said it before. This is not the first time I have heard that that's his plan. Or that's what he would love to do.
Right.
It is still just so fucking laughable. Like, y'all are still sitting in Pizzagate. Like,
right.
Like, we still legitimately, like, drain the swamp, but you're bitch the swamp. Like, I can't get over. What do you mean?
Bruh. Patel takes over an agency already facing turmoil. Over the last month, the Justice Department has forced out several senior FBI officials and requested the names of thousands of agents involved in investigations related to the January 6th Capitol riot. Republicans, frustrated with what they see as FBI bias during the Biden administration, have rallied behind Patel.
Whoa, Ambush, was that your question? How do the Republicans feel?
As someone who will implement sweeping changes, you're right. Asked and answered. Despite his emphasis on restructuring, Patel said Friday that national security remains a top priority for the FBI. Anyone that wishes to do harm to our way of life and our citizens here and abroad will face the full wrath of the DOJ and FBI, he declared, vowing aggressive law enforcement action against criminals and terrorists. I don't know if you know this.
I don't.
You are a terrorist.
Oh.
Patel places...
Okay. I stick with what I said. I don't.
You, your record label, your whole staff.
Okay. Shout out to Yap-A-Lot Records. You know?
Patel replaces Christopher Wray, who was appointed by Trump in 2017 and resigned at the end of President Joe Biden's administration. Wray's tenure was marked by frequent clashes with Trump, including the FBI's 2022 search of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate for classified documents.
Whoopsies.
Patel's appointment signals a dramatic shift in the FBI's leadership and operational strategy under Trump's second term. It's so funny that this is someone Trump appointed, talking about Wray, and one of the clashes was about him having classified documents. And this is what gets lost in the conversation, right? The issue is they came after him for having classified documents. So their fight is, why are you coming after us? You know, you're supposed to be doing the same thing. Fam, you had classified. Did you have something you weren't supposed to have?
They were like, these are just papers. Okay?
If you could look over there.
No.
And don't worry about these papers.
You don't even have to look over there. These are just papers. Okay? There are criminals doing crime in this very moment that's physical. There's someone with a gun. You should go look for that guy. But then that guy was also their guy. And they were like, oh no, don't look there. Like, none of this makes any sense. Do we law enforcement or do we not? Bruh. Also, I'm just going to say this. How many fucking times does a federal administration nominee, I don't know what to call them, how many times do they get to tell you that that they're going to uphold the law, that they're going to hold the line, that they're going to do this, and that, I uphold the Constitution, How many times you going to listen to those people say that without ever acknowledging the other things that they have said?
Even when they acknowledge the other things they said and they play it back and they retrend, I just want them to stop airing it. I don't want to see any more coverage. It's a rerun over and over again. There is never a point, ever, when I look at these appointments and see these hearings and I'm like, and this person's not going to get in. I already know how this story ends every single time they cover it. I don't want to see it anymore. Whoever Trump nominates, it's not a nomination. You got the job. There's no interview. There's no pushback that the Dems are going to do. There's nothing. Their hands are tied. They're not able to have the right conversations behind the scenes to make the Republicans that possibly could be on the fence vote the direction they need to. So, for them anyways. So what are we doing? It's like we're just having these moments so they can get a little, a viral moment. You know, I'm going to put a poster up. I'm going to say a quick thing. The A minor thing was awesome. But like...
Man,
Dems is still,
and it's probably A minor.
Dems is still trying to get their licks off. And it's like, do you understand that you're on your back punching the air right now?
Nope.
Listen, the ref already called the match. People are leaving the building. your back is still on the mat punching the air. Like, it's over. It's over, fam. Like, come on, man. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. C said, there are no fence-sitting Republicans.
That's all I'm trying to say. But to C's point, we got to stop pretending like there is a difference between a MAGA Republican and a Republican. Don't let them tell you, I'm a Lincoln Republican. I'm a Log House Republican.
Right.
I'm a fiscal conservative. None of that shit. Because you can be a fiscal conservative all day, I suppose. But really what that means is I'm trying to exploit as many people as I fucking can, guys. Like, understand what the translation to that is. It isn't like I just want to be able to, like, keep my coins. That's not it. That's not what that means.
Carla, like Cuba Gooding Jr. punching the air. C says they're punching the air with checks in their hands. Nasty. That was nasty. That was terrible. That was, oh my God. That's a very, very...
As they go and cash them.
Right. Uncle C said, I got them unscrambled white eggs 2 for $5. We need the deals. The price of groceries has not come down as promised. To your point.
First of all, sir, don't talk about nobody's 2 for $5 nothing when you across the country until you are closer in proximity.
Listen, he already answered that. He said, "Will do."
Okay, that's not enough of an answer.
Well,
I love that works for you.
Because he can't give us the details here, you know?
I love that it works for
I say look for the follow-up text. You know, C's?
I'll be looking for the follow-up.
Your sister needs the follow-up text.
I'll be looking for it. Real quick, in the YouTube chat, Michelle said, people with ethical standards don't shill bullshit. Manoverse supplements.
Nah, facts.
So true. 1000% true. And the funny thing is that when things get tricky between creators, when they try and be like, and then you did this, it's like... These right-wing outlets are taking money from the actual demons of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just not what happens on the left, even if you are Don Lemon. What?
Yo, Carmen?
No.
She said...
No.
I did a Republican commercial many years ago for 800 Smackaroos. Dressed up as a doctor. And my line was, thank you for ending slavery. I needed those funds. She said, Morgan, you know firsthand. LOL.
I don't remember this.
And she also said, remember, it's supposed to be a safe space for her.
Why would you say that then?
Carm, $800?
Baby.
Man.
Why would you say this here? Why would you say this to me here?
That is hilarious.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't remember that. Like, let me be clear. I don't think you've ever told me this.
Oh my God.
And also, what? All right. You know what?
Uncle C said, I got Walmart discount, free shopping.
Goodbye.
Holla at me. Holla at me.
Goodbye.
I most certainly will. Brother, I most certainly will. Yeah, I'm
sorry. I am stuck right now at Carmen. She's going to have to give me the space to sit with that for a second if I'm going to have to be nice. Oh, okay.
Okay, you remember.
So then don't hit me with no safe space shit. You didn't tell me this. This is brand new information to me. You're going to have to let me react, babe. I don't know. I'm doing my best. I'm not cussing at you. I love you. I continue to respect you.
So
this one hurt.
I am.
Thank you for ending slavery is wild.
Yo, that's crazy.
Like that's a line that you had to say into a camera, fam.
Dressed as a doctor?
That is nasty work.
Send us this commercial. Find the commercial. Send it.
Thank you for ending slavery, Carmen. Did you do it?
As a doctor.
Did they do it?
As a doctor.
Who were you thinking?
You were thinking Republicans, friend.
Who were you thinking?
That's very interesting. We need to follow up.
We were thanking the Republicans for ending slavery because at the time, Republicans were Democrats.
Yo, that is hilarious.
That's so insane. What time is it? Is it time to go? Because I feel like it's time to go.
Almost.
What in the dick are we supposed to do with any of this now?
Oh, my God. I got to run through some more shout-outs. L Rocks, Layla Ray,
Hey!
Nick Taylor.
Shut up!
AJ, of course.
This at?
Fahim, brother.
What?
My man's J-Rock. My high school homeboy, Mateo.
Hey.
All on Facebook.
That's crazy. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for watching.
Definitely. Yo, this is a bit much.
Do you remember, though, when Brett Kavanaugh was like, I'm going to uphold the law and the Constitution? Roe is law, right? Like, that's settled situations.
And wasn't a single person on this side of the fence believe in it.
I don't even know how many people in the world believe that, but enough, right?
Right.
Why don't we move forward with the energy of the understanding that just within the last 10 years of some of these people's tenure, like Susan Collins and Murkowski, and,
please.
Y'all been just letting these white men yell and lie directly in your face, and you're like, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe I'll do it. Like,
was it Susan Collins or Murkowski that was like, I think he's learned a lesson?
No, it was literally Susan Collins. I think he gets it now.
Like he's your son.
He totally gets it now. That's the problem, is they treat these people who are lying directly to their face as if it's their son, and they're wishing that they weren't lying.
Right.
They're lying.
I'm not dumb enough to go for that shit. At all. Not even close.
I am tired.
Not even close. So, I mean, what this means to me is just like Trump making good on the promise of my life being exponentially worse. And like we were waving the flag ahead of time. And for me, again, I don't know. Nah. As a black man,
okay.
When you talk about empowering
King.
The police and you talk about blanket immunity,
ooh,
and then you couple that with someone like this in charge of the FBI, yeah.
And add to all of those things that they took away the database that was supposed to track any sort of police misconduct.
Completely. That happened last week, right? That just happened.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't last know week, this week,
yeah,
tomorrow. It's all the same at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, fam, it was easy to not desire to be here. Like, everything that should have been done to prevent this, yeah. And we're talking about irreversible impact. And to have this conversation and then constantly come from this angle of it's just 4 years, or, once the Dems get back in. Listen, first off, I'm going to keep reminding y'all, this is only the second of 3 terms for Trump. I'm sorry, you were drinking. On top of that, how much faith? And I pose this question to our live audience right now. If there's a way we could put a poll up. How many of you really have faith in the Democrats turning back the clock on any of the things the Republicans are doing right now? Because that's what they're selling us on.
Hit the chat.
Right, that's what they're selling us on. Well, it's just, we'll make it through this, and then what?
Well, to be clear, I am gonna actually correct you on that.
No,
they're not selling that right now.
Oh, okay.
Because Hakeem Jeffries keeps going on TV saying ain't shit we could do. Is he literally not on TV like, hey guys, I don't know, we ain't got the numbers?
Yeah, no, that's what he's doing.
That's the leadership of the party right now.
What do y'all think? Y'all think they're going to make it sound? Jess said no faith whatsoever.
0.
Yeah.
Dead ass.
C said, what number comes before 0? Like,
damn, Jess was like, that's my answer.
What's the over and under on the Dems fixing any of this shit?
What's the over and under of them wanting to? And I'm not even being funny. Like, we spent zero time codifying anything that fucking mattered. And now we are talking about bills where if your ID doesn't match your birth certificate, you're dead. Like you don't get to vote. If you don't think that that is voter disenfranchisement, I have the whatever, a bridge to sell you in Idaho or whatever the fuck it is that, like, that doesn't just affect or impact heterosexual women that have married men. That impacts so many people that have changed their name in some way, shape, form, or fashion. That you absolutely have to understand that if you have spent decades voting and all of a sudden you're unable to, or all of a sudden there's a whole bunch of different things that you have to get done in order to do that, and all of those things take longer than walking into your DMV and registering to vote. Like, they are taking it away. I really don't mean to sound like an alarmist.
No.
I just really need folks to understand that these are not small measures. This also isn't just like, oh, the dude is chewing the wires. And I know I say that all the time. I think Elon Musk is not a person. He is just in here, dude. Like, he's an animal, a rabid animal.
Yeah.
I say that to purposely demean him. But the fact of the matter is that these people do know what they're doing. They know what they're breaking. They know what they're disrupting.
Yeah.
They know what they're tearing apart. And it's on purpose. And none of this purpose, none of the Project 2025 was thought up recently.
Right.
The think tank's been tanking.
The key in that name is 25. It's been at least 25 years in the making.
No, it's
at
55 years in the making.
This
is not, there are literal right-wing think tanks happening right now, right this second. How many CPACs have?
They haven't stopped.
They don't stop. They don't stop organizing. They don't stop rallying each other. They don't stop spending millions and millions of dollars to tell you that it's the brown people that made it bad for you. It's the black people that did that to you. It's the so-and-so to do that to you. All of that money to literally make sure that you don't notice. They're the ones who took every single opportunity from you. But none of this is new.
None.
This is just what happens when one administration gets to lay the foundation and they get to come the fuck back and implement the plan.
Right.
And no, Trump didn't read it, and Trump doesn't know what's in it, and Trump doesn't know, like none of that shit even fucking matters. Sorry, I'm cussing a lot today.
What really disturbed me about that is mainstream media accepted that answer and reported it as if he was telling. As if he was telling the truth. Uncle C said, "It's a cold winter. You better bundle up.
You better bundle up."
So, other C said, the Dems would want to flip it back, but they would, so they could go down as the heroes, but will be unable to because Republicans ain't going back. And that's the point I'm making.
It's that.
Like, the mechanisms under which they're trying to get us to understand is going to be the path back. Those mechanisms will not exist.
They will not be here.
They will not exist.
And if you think they will be here, what are you watching?
Right.
What are you reading?
You're wilding.
What are you paying attention to if you think that this isn't the big red flag of decline? Oh my God, Brooke's here. I gotta go.
Yo. Brooke says she has zero faith in the Dems. And then also,
thank you.
That's why I covered my mouth earlier, because I was about to laugh during your point. Thank you for that slavery.
This is the second time I have allowed the chat to completely derail me, and I don't care. I think y'all don't care either. My bad. That is amazing.
Thank you for ending slavery.
It is incredibly alarming that we are not further on in our understanding that we are living in an actual coup. However, it is not surprising that we don't know that, because what are we taught? Every coup you've ever heard of didn't have anything to do with the United States.
Right.
Unless you read outside of school. Right? And every single one of those coups that you heard about does have something to do with the United States and is funded by those people. And for the reasons of destabilizing other nations, the idea that we wouldn't destabilize our own is ludicrous.
Yeah.
These are not people that give a fuck about the American people or anybody that's from here, but there is no patriotism outside of rich white men doing things. That's it. That's it. That's all. So even for the Enriques who get out of jail, who should not be out of jail, and even from a non-carceral person, that motherfucker should not be out here.
Nah.
For him to be out here as a person who was like, I'm the thin blue fucking line, I support the police. I make sure law enforcement gets to do their job. He's out here screaming and yelling at a person that they tried to fucking kill when they did the coup on the 6th. Like, we're living in it. It didn't just, there wasn't a thing that happened in January a long time ago.
Right.
Like, that's to now.
Right.
The people that did the coup are out of jail.
Fam. Like,
They're out of jail. They just got to jail. They just got there.
you know what this sounds like?
And then they just got out, and they're now accosting the people that they were, at one point, pretending that they were on the side of.
You know what this sounds like?
What?
Something you never could have imagined could ever happen.
Oh, not
ever.
me, but yes.
Yeah, but yeah.
Let me separate myself from everybody else.
What do you mean Trump's just going to pardon everyone from Jan 6?
You can't do that. That's illegal.
He can't do that. It's so illegal. That could never happen.
Enrico Tarrio literally is out of jail in a federal building following around a man that was almost killed at the coup, telling him he's a bitch. I need you to understand.
That was real talk.
That's what's happening in real time.
Yo.
People that don't even own the trademark to their own gang name are out here being bullies to the police, which, fuck the police. Fuck the police.
The ability.
But forever and always fuck a Proud Boy who is, because don't get it misconstrued. Every single Proud Boy is a failed policeman.
Right.
They didn't get through the test.
Right.
Or they are policemen.
Right.
Real Hannah Montana sitch, Oh, how come I never see so-and-so? Enrique Tarrio is an actual FBI informant.
Whole informant.
A whole informant that also gets to be, the capo of the Proud Boy Florida chapter or whatever.
I don't know why Uncle C's thought this was a,
Whatever it is, it's wrong. I know it's not right.
Something we needed to share with our audience, but Enrique is Henry in Spanish. So,
Thank you, C.
a little bit of added facts there for anyone.
Thank you from our resident Afro-Latino.
Proper framing there for anyone that might be
Should I just call him Henry then? When I speak the American?
No, literally call him Henry in Spanish.
Henry in Spanish has been doing...
You motherfucker.
I just want to run through because I haven't even got to see these yet, but Michelle said it's just that alarming, actually. The right wing has been playing the long game and the Dems have been playing the wrong game. Okay. Bang, bang.
That's a Don DeMarco.
Don DeMarco.
That's a Don DeMarco.
That's a bar.
Yeah. That's definitely a Don
Again,
DeMarco.
I'm going to say it every time she shows up and says the thing that took me half an hour to say. And then she says it in a sentence. I'm going to continue to say that.
Yeah.
P-Town said, and now it's advanced to active fascism, salute and all.
Yeah.
And when you got Steve the Bannon out here throwing the salute around like, let me see if I can do it.
Yeah.
He's literally...
Let me get mine off real quick.
Everybody
doing it? Let me get mine off real quick.
He is the Mucinex man.
Yeah.
He is actually the Mucinex man, and he gets to do a Sig Heil and be like, I guess I'll just go home.
So
you know what? Superiority means absolutely fucking nothing.
Carmen said, I love Enrique Iglesias.
Go with Carmen?
Then she said, Henry Iglesias. Carmen, Lakeitha said, we need to see the video. So.
And Lakeitha, right. Carmen, if you don't show me this video of you being a Republican black doctor saying thanks for ending slavery, friendship terminated, fam. And I didn't know that we had a line until we found it tonight. We go together. We've been together for many moons. Tonight will be the end if you don't show me the produce the vid.
Yeah, we need that. We need that. Oh my gosh. Oh, and you know what, Carmen? If you're having some issue finding it, we'll make it a group effort. I did a commercial too, and I can't find it anywhere. But people have told me they've seen it. I just can't track it down. Maybe you guys have seen it. I'm drinking beer.
I've only seen the BTS.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle said we absolutely are at Nazis with them or against them stage right now.
Yeah.
And P-Town said, because we was the youth here fighting skinheads. And all younger when Trump was compromised in 87. Interfered with the German election and got the wannabe Nazi party second place today. I want to I know we're over and we need to go, and I'm sorry, Jess, and we will wrap it. I just want folks to understand that Portland, your pretend home of progressivism, whatever you have heard, especially for folks in the chat who do not live here, especially the ones on the East Coast who are hearing, Portland is Portlandia and you come here to retire and everything's amazing. Know that the history of this state alone is probably the most white supremacist shit you could ever hear. Sure. So much, we hate everyone so much. Don't even bring your slavery here. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah, no slavery was here, guys.
The way that I was bamboozled as a child, like, Oregon is so amazing. They didn't even have slavery. They're the one state in the union. Lies.
That's not.
Lies, fabrications, every single piece of it. Everybody had slaves. All of the things that you're hearing, the North had nothing to do. Slaves. Everybody was profiting. And then Oregon was like, I want no parts. Okay? I want no parts. What I want.
Please keep your darkies over there.
Keep the darkies out. Keep them engines. I don't know nothing about them.
Keep them
That's
all out.
Oregon.
Yeah.
So the fact that Portland gets this beautiful fucking paintbrush of progressivism and that we are just fucking killing it out here because we recycle is wild. I don't even know who's spending the money to tell y'all that. Is it us? Is it someone else? Does this serve a purpose for the right wing? I can't tell.
Oh my God.
Because it's just not fucking real. It's just not real. Like, when anybody living here says, well, was it a Nazi still? Bitch, I will kill you. I don't even know what to do anymore.
No, so I was completely surprised when talking to people, native Portlanders, talking about how the skinheads used to just hang out down at Pioneer Square. I was like, what are you talking about? And it was like, yo, no, they used to just be down there thick. And I'm like, excuse me?
No, big thick. Like, don't go downtown. Don't go by Pioneer Square thick.
Portland's living room, Pioneer Square?
Portland's living room was where the Nazis lived in the room. Like, they were there. They were having a time. You knew exactly what, you knew what you were looking for. You knew what to avoid. And it wasn't like the police made sure we were safe. You know what I'm saying?
That's wild. Yo.
Hannah Montana.
That's absolutely wild.
Portland got some wild ass history. If you ever really want to know it, there are so many different things, but ask me a question because I will tell you some shit. And I don't know everything, right? Yeah. I'm in no way pretending to know everything, but the things that I know about this place, about Oregon in general, about Portland, about Vanport, like, we've never been welcomed in a way that it ever made any sense. And to be confused by that, or the fact that people are lured here because it's this progressive beacon, if anybody asked me before they came here, what I'm telling you is that TV show lied, and that one did too, and this did too. Right. You know what I mean?
He said his draw to Portland is the Hot Cake House and
correct,
and breweries in movie theaters.
Yes,
so he said that's what did it for him.
To be very clear, there's plenty of reasons to be here. I just mean we get this unearned reputation.
Yeah. And
if other places are looking to us for what progressivism looks like, we're extra fucked, is what I'm trying to get to.
P-Town said she was forbade by my mother don't go downtown ever.
Hello?
Yikes, yo. Oof.
Okay, Jess said, shout out, it did happen here.
Yeah, that book. It's a book, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gotta grab that. Okay.
You can't have enslavement if you don't have any black people. Is that the original white liberal logic? Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes. Okay.
1000%, Michelle.
I think we can. I think we've done our due for tonight.
I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If anybody wants anything from me, sucks to be you. Going to sleep for days.
Oh my god.
Just kidding. Because really, I want to stay engaged.
Yeah.
This was another News with My Fiance Monday night, Raw live, in person, live Raw, in the books. Thank you for spending this quality time with us.
Flat out. This episode was made possible by our in-studio crew, Jess, our remote crew, Kyle G, of Residual Audio, and Michelle and Ross. Shout out to our studio sponsors, L&J Industries, for providing a dope space for us each week. And of course, big thanks to all of you for watching and listening and staying engaged with us. All up in the chat. I hope you guys are understanding,
chat is banging.
like how much of a contribution to the show that you guys are each and every week. So thank you so much for hopping in the chat with us. Thank you for everybody that texts with us on Thursday mornings. It's the exact same thing. And this collective energy is what's going to be necessary to, make it through all of this. Got to have vision.
And keep that vision going. Stay engaged with us all week. Follow us on Instagram at News with My Fiance. Follow Ambush at ScamBeezy. Follow me at Portland Morgan. Become a member. Sock it to our pockets over at News with My Fiance. Patreon.com/News with My Fiance. Don't forget, here, wherever you're watching right now, hit that like, hit a share. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, all the things. These things matter so much for us to be able to continue to do this. If we could do this multiple days, we would love to. If we could make all of our money doing this, we would love to.
Facts.
So help us out.
Yes, and definitely, please head to the Patreon. I'm telling you now, there's a free level. Just get in there. Because like we're talking about, spaces like this are going to shut down soon. We will not have access to all these platforms the way we do. If we can get our fam up in the Patreon, just in the audience, just kick it with us, we can continue to share more content there. And there are definitely things that we put on our Patreon that don't make it anywhere else. So, yes, for sure.
Speaking of, I just want to thank our patrons right now.
Absolutely.
Where we're at. We got Ross. We got Michelle. We got Ella. We got Katie. We got Sherry. We got Kyle. We got Casey.
Yes. Shout out to all of y'all, man. For sure.
Get in there. There's multiple tiers. There's also the free option. Just be a part of the relationship, if you will.
For real. Carmen said, why can't we go to 9 o'clock? Carmen, because we have things
go to bed.
To do.
Don't you have a baby? What are you talking about?
But you know the deal. Don't let the individuals distract you from the systems. Poverty is a policy choice. People over profits. Power to the people. None of us are free until we are all free. No war but class war.
Hello.
And go hard on the systems and not people. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you Thursday morning, 7:30 a.m. on X-Ray FM.
Right before Tom Hartman.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, y'all.
I love you, Carmen. Bye. Send me that video now. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. And you can catch this show streaming live on YouTube every Monday night from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And our podcast episodes are available everywhere you listen to podcasts except Spotify.